The crimson sun of planet Vegeta hung heavy and low in the jagged horizon. Thick clouds of sulfur and dust swirled around the towering spires of the royal palace. The air tasted of copper and old blood, a testament to a history of endless war. Deep within the stone corridors, the sound of heavy boots echoed against the walls. A senior Scion advisor walked with a frantic pace, sweat beading on his scarred forehead. He clutched a datapad tightly, his knuckles turning white from the pressure. He stopped before the massive obsidian doors of the throne room and took a jagged breath. The doors groaned open, revealing a hall bathed in shadows and flickering torchlight. King Vegeta sat upon his throne, his silhouette imposing and unmoving as a mountain. The advisor stepped forward, his voice trembling but driven by a desperate duty. "Thank you. Stop." As expected, he obliterated it all. The advisor whispered into silence. The king did not shift his gaze, his eyes fixed on a holographic map of the galaxy. If we keep turning a blind eye, this won't just be about control anymore, the advisor continued. He took another step closer, risking the king's legendary temper. "Frieza isn't just watching us, Your Majesty. He is waiting and calculating. Every move he makes is measured, deliberate, and colder than deep space. And what are we doing while the tyrant sharpens his blade at our throats? We are letting him play us like fools, letting him move unchecked through our sectors. It won't just cost us our freedom. It will be the beginning of the end for Planet Vegeta. Our pride, our warriors, our legacy, all of it will be gone in a blinding instant. Mark my words, my king, if we don't act soon, we won't even live long enough to regret it." The advisor paused, watching for a reaction, but the king remained made of stone. His forces grow stronger with every moon that passes over our heads. He didn't just build an army. He forged a weapon of absolute domination. He handpicked the most vicious killers across the galaxies to serve as his dogs. They were molded through fear, obedience, and raw, unchecked power. What stands behind him is not a battalion. It's a force engineered to crush worlds. They move in unison, stripping planets bare and erasing resistance before it comes. They fight not because they believe in his cause, but because they fear his wrath. King Vegeta slammed his fist on the arm of his throne, shattering the stone ornament. The sound echoed like a thunderclap, silencing the advisor instantly. "Your impatience speaks louder than your loyalty," the king snarled, his teeth bared. He stood up, his cape flowing behind him like a river of blood. "I will not be goaded into a reckless charge like some desperate, low-class fool. You forget yourself, advisor. This is not your decision to make. I see further than your fear, and I know the game we are playing. Frieza will fall, yes, but when I command it, not a moment before. Our vengeance will come, but on our terms, not his." The king sat back down, his eyes burning with a dangerous, wounded pride. "Not his," he muttered to himself, gripping the throne. "Not his." Miles away, the atmosphere shifted from political tension to sterile coldness. Inside the Scion incubation lab, machines hummed with a rhythmic, artificial life. Green liquid bubbled in rows of glass tanks, each holding a Scion infant. A calm, automated voice broke the silence, devoid of any empathy. Attention all units. Perimeter sweep in progress. All unauthorized personnel will be detained immediately. Alert elevated in H. 4+ levels detected in subject 019. Infant class anomaly registered. Immediate analysis required. In a medical bay adjacent to the nursery, the air smelled of antiseptic and ozone. 2 technicians in white coats stood before a large, glowing healing tank. Inside the fluid, a warrior floated, his body covered in fresh scars and burns. A breathing mask covered his face, and wires monitored his erratic heartbeat. If he keeps this up, he's going to become stronger than King Vegeta, one tech muttered. He tapped the glass lightly, watching the warrior's brow twitch in pain. No kidding, the other agreed, checking a scrolling monitor of vital signs. Bardock is a maniac. He comes back from every mission half dead. My gosh, he's crazy, absolutely out of his mind. What kind of low-level soldier would go to a planet like Kanasa alone? He took only a handful of men against an entire civilization of psychics. The first technician nodded, adjusting a valve on the tank. I think he needs to be retested when he wakes up. His case is unusual. His power levels are spiking even while he sleeps. I agree. Planthor. Let's mark the file and get it done. The scene shifted violently to a conquered world light years away. Smoke rose from the ruins of a destroyed alien city. A different Saiyan squad stood amidst the rubble, their armor stained with grime. The ship's down, just like Frieza wanted. The squad leader barked. They didn't even scream, they just fell like wheat before a scythe. I want that section cleared in 5 minutes, no survivors. Keep your formation tight and stay alert for traps. Squad 4, maintain perimeter control and keep your eyes on that entrance. This entire deck is cleared in 10 where you answered me personally. Let's go move out. Far above planet Vegeta, the black void of space was punctured by 2 pods. 2 round attack balls breached the atmosphere of a primitive, dusty planet. The friction caused the pods to glow red hot as they descended. Launch sequence initiated, 2 pods deployed, a computer voice announced. Mission is green.
How much longer is this
They're on their
journey?
way to the
I'm
target.
practically suffocating.
Inside one pod,
It's completely
a
worthless.
young
I
Scion
expected a
grumbled
challenge,
over the
not a
crackling
dust ball.
comm system. You know, I
Honestly,
still can't
they should
believe
be
we got
thanking me for
assigned
taking
this
this
dust
mission.
ball.
I could be
What did we do wrong to deserve this assignment? Did we steal
Reading
one
confirmed.
too many meat
Power
rations
level
from
is
the elite
negligible.
barracks?
What a
Anyway, scanners say the locals barely stand upright. This won't even count as a warm-up for warriors like us. His partner's
ladies and
laugh
gentlemen.
crackled
Your
back
favorite
through the
Saiyan is about
speaker,
to break the
distorted
sound
by
barrier.
static.
Try to keep
Barely stand
Oh,
upright.
wow, look
Is
at
that
you
what you
failing
think?
already.
Last
Let's
time
see
you
what
said
you've
that,
got.
you got smacked in the face with a plasma rock.
Easy.
Let's see who racks
I'll
up the
finish this
highest
mission
kill
before
count
you
this
finish
time.
that drink.
Loser buys the drinks when we're back on Vegeta. And don't you dare hit the ground first. I want the first strike. I'm already boosting, the first replied, veering his pod sharply. Try not to land in a swamp this time. You smelled terrible for weeks. The stench took 3 hyper jumps to wash off your armor. I'll take the east side.
Yeah, I
It
cleared
looks
the
like there's
sector.
more
Took care of those
population there.
weaklings easily.
You take the boring half. Try to stay awake. Deep in space, the massive flagship of the Planet Trade Organization hovered silently. Frieza sat in his floating chair, staring out at the star-dusted void. He swirled a glass of wine, the red liquid catching the light of distant stars. His voice was a low, menacing purr that chilled the air around him. This world wasn't enough, and yet you still hide. Come out before I lose my patience completely. They call them warriors, but they are nothing but monkeys. Saiyans were bred to conquer. That is their only function. They will all die, and the universe will be quieter for it. His aide, a tall alien with elegant features, bowed deeply. Orders from Lord Frieza have arrived at the command deck. Our duty is not to question. It is to execute his will. Steel yourselves, men, for what we do next will define history. Now go, prepare the cannon. Frieza turned his gaze to the vibrant, unsuspecting planet Vegeta below. The Saiyans have always been an intolerable infestation, he mused. He took a slow sip from his glass, savoring the moment. Loud, vulgar creatures with no sense of control, no discipline, and certainly no purpose beyond indulging their violent impulses. Under the illusion of strength, they build nothing of value. They preserve nothing. They create no art, no culture. Yet they walk through the universe as if it were theirs to scar, poisoning every corner of space they touch with their primitive lust. They are obsessed with domination and their childish concept of pride. They fight not for empire or vision, but for the sheer thrill of it. And somehow, they convince themselves that this mindless savagery is noble. They think their constant brawling is a mark of greatness. In reality, it is nothing more than desperation dressed as tradition. I've let them exist longer than I should have, out of mercy. I tolerated their presence out of sheer convenience for my empire. I allowed them to conquer in my name, to spill blood where I pointed, all while they puffed their chests and snarled like beasts. They thought they mattered to me, or to the universe. But they don't matter, they never have. And the more I watch them swarm across space like fire without purpose, the more I realize that their continued existence is an insult. And because of that, I will burn their legacy from the stars. I will erase their planet from every map in the galaxy. I will bury their name so deep in history that no one will speak it again. Back in the healing tank, Bardock's eyes snapped open wide. His mind was screaming, trapped between reality and a nightmare. I'm still in this damn tank, floating in this fluid. I can't move my limbs. The paralysis is still strong. But I'm awake. I can hear them. I can see it. Why am I seeing this again? These visions won't stop. The vision flooded his mind, vibrant and terrifyingly real. He saw Frieza's father, King Cold, standing tall and imposing. He's right there in front of me, just like before. I should have stopped it when I had the chance. I remember the day he landed on our soil. He was surrounded by elite soldiers, and we just stood there. We didn't raise a hand. We didn't ask a single question. We let them walk through our ranks like they owned the place. I stood there too, like an idiot, watching our doom arrive. I knew something was off. I could feel in my gut. I just didn't want to be the one to say it out loud. The air felt different that day, heavy with malice. Not just tension, but pressure crushing us. Like something under the surface was getting ready to snap. And now I'm seeing it from above, looking down on my home. The cities, the skies, it's all too quiet, too perfect. The vision climaxed with a blinding flash of orange light. and then it's gone. Everything gone in mere seconds. So that's what this is, the end of our world. Not a dream, not a warning, just the truth. All over again, playing on a loop in my head. Heat. I can feel the heat. Heat up here. A different voice, a storyteller's voice, echoed over the vision. We were born for war. Frieza knows that better than anyone. We once shared this planet with the Tuffles. We were bound by a tense peace until our thirst for freedom clashed. Their rule was logical, but our spirit was wild. War became our only path forward, the only way to breathe. Fight till the death, that is the Saiyan way. The Tuffle War carved that truth into our bones forever. They had machines, fortresses, energy shields powered by intellect. We had instinct, rage, and the will to survive. They calculated every move while we adapted to the chaos. The battlefield was our classroom, and blood was the ink. Entire cities crumbled under our steps as we advanced. Tuffle towers split like dry bark under our energy
Look at
blasts.
this power. I can't.
Their strongest line of defense fell in a single night. But that power came at a terrible cost to our soul. Many of our own were lost, not to the enemy, but to the madness of the transformation. That was the lesson buried beneath the roar of the ape. Unshaped power devours itself, if not controlled. Frieza watched all of it from a throne of silence. He studied us, measured us, and categorized us. He decided we were too dangerous to be free. He clipped our wings and called it peace. When the full moon rose over planet Vegeta, we didn't hesitate. We became what we were always meant to be. Not soldiers, not savages, but a force of nature. The great ape, the destroyer of worlds. There was once a Saiyan who didn't need a moon, who didn't turn into a beast, but into something else. Something far more dangerous than a giant monster. He burned from the inside out with golden light. He was a Super Saiyan, a legend made flesh. Frieza fears the legend of the Super Saiyan more than death. He knows it's real deep down in his black heart. And he knows we are the ones destined to awaken it. Heat, the heat is coming.
Why Frieza destroyed the Saiyans! Why Frieza destroyed the Saiyans!